Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The scream hit my ears before I even knew it came from my own mouth. It tore out of me the moment I opened our living room curtains and saw her. My partner Mia was pressed against our neighbor Daniel on his porch in full daylight. Their faces were inches apart and their bodies close in a way that made my stomach twist. At first I thought maybe I was misreading it. Maybe it was a trick of the morning light. But then I saw her fingers skim the collar of his shirt in a soft, intimate way I had not felt in months. My heart pounded so violently I felt it in my throat. The world tilted and for a second everything around me blurred. I whispered her name as if saying it out loud could rewind the moment or shift it into some other reality. Yet the truth stood bold and unhidden across the lawn. Mia did not even glance toward our house. She laughed and touched Daniel again, and it was a laugh I had once believed was mine. I stepped back from the window and gripped the edge of the table until my fingertips tingled. My mind fired through excuses and explanations faster than I could catch them. Maybe she was thanking him. Maybe she was comforting him. Maybe she leaned in because she dropped something and I misread every angle. My brain scrambled for any version of truth that did not destroy everything I thought I knew. I waited for her to return home. I counted every minute with a hollow throb beneath my ribs. When she finally walked inside, she looked flushed and distracted. She kissed my cheek with a softness that felt like a performance. Her eyes avoided mine a little too long. She moved around the kitchen humming under her breath, a sound that had once calmed me. Now it felt like a layer of paint over a cracked wall. I wanted to scream at her. Instead, I stood in the doorway watching her slice strawberries as if her hands were not guilty of holding someone else. Later that afternoon, Mia asked me something that made the room go cold. She lifted her phone and said, "I need a favor. Daniel has an appointment and his sitter canceled. Could you watch his daughter for an hour or two?" I stared at her. I felt the words like needles. Watch the child of the man she had just been wrapped around. She spoke as if nothing unusual had happened. As if the morning sun had not exposed the truth. "Why me?" I asked quietly. "You are great with kids. And she trusts you. It is only for a little while." Mia gave a small uneasy smile. She looked almost nervous, which made my suspicion burn hotter. "Please do this for me. For me. Not for the child. Not even for Daniel. For her." I agreed. My voice sounded distant and hollow as if it came from someone else entirely. When Daniel brought his daughter Lily to our house, she clung to his shirt with sleep-heavy eyes. Daniel barely met my gaze. His face held the strained guilt of someone who hoped silence could erase wrongdoing. He thanked me too quickly, then left with a stiffness that told me he knew I knew something was wrong. Once the door shut, the house fell quiet except for the soft sounds of Lily drawing in the living room. She was sweet and innocent and completely unaware of the storm swirling above her head. I watched her small hands glide a blue crayon across the page. She looked up and smiled at me. Something inside me cracked at the purity of it. Mia sat across from me on the couch, pretending to scroll through her phone yet glancing up every few seconds like she was waiting for a confession. Or trying to read whether I had seen what she had hoped to hide. Finally I said her name. Just her name. And she froze. "Mia. Why were you at his place this morning?" Her breath caught. Her fingers trembled for a brief second. She searched my face, then shaped a half-truth with careful calm. "I was only checking on him. He has been dealing with a lot. You know that. Your hand was on his collar." I let the words fall with quiet weight. Her eyes darted away. Silence expanded between us like a living thing. Heavy. Thick. Unable to be ignored. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her throat bobbed with a swallow. "I made a mistake," she whispered. The admission hit me harder than the sight of her on that porch. When she finally spoke the truth, it was neither dramatic nor loud. It was soft. Almost gentle. A confession wrapped in regret and fear. She said it started weeks ago. Small moments. Long talks. Emotional confusion. Lines that blurred until they vanished. She insisted it was never meant to go far. She insisted she still loved me. Every word felt like a shard of glass sliding under my skin. She cried. I cried. Lily colored, quietly oblivious to the unraveling adults in the room. I asked the question that had been pressing against my chest since morning. Why ask me to watch his daughter? Mia wiped her face. Because he said he could not trust anyone else. And I thought if you helped it might fix something between us. I thought it would show you how important you are to me." Her logic stunned me. She had broken us and tried to mend the fracture by pulling me into the life of the man she broke us with. In that moment I realized I could forgive a mistake, but I could not forgive a betrayal that expected me to carry part of its weight. When Daniel returned for Lily, I handed her gently into his arms. Then I looked at him and Mia standing side by side, both silent, both drenched in guilt. I told them calmly that I needed time, real time, space for my heart to breathe without crushing itself with questions. Mia reached for my hand, but I stepped back. The look on her face held shock and terror and understanding all at once. I did not shout. I did not break anything. I simply walked into the bedroom and closed the door. That quiet, simple step was the moment everything changed.